Hey everybody, welcome back to doing another live here. Hope everyone is staying warm and safe with hopefully not too many people are traveling. I know there's some teams down in Austin playing 18s and stuff like that, but hopefully everyone is staying safe and warm and all of that. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Um, and then a couple things as we get started. I would, as always, really appreciate you guys following along and subscribing with PRI. We really appreciate that. That's super helpful. The more subscribers we can get, the more people that are following us and engaging us with us, the more we'll be able to do this kind of content for you guys. So please click that subscribe button. And we will just continue to commit to helping you guys with this process because that's what we're trying to do. Second thing, I've got a poll going in the chat if you want to check that out. I don't have anything scheduled yet, but right now I am probably going to be doing another live on YouTube tomorrow, since most of the Dallas area I think is closed for school. At least I know Frisco is, and I'm assuming the surrounding areas are just with the ice and stuff. We went out walking today, and it's weird walking on top. Like you're not walking through the snow, you're just walking on top of the snow because there's so much ice. But yeah, so I'm going to do something tomorrow as well. So if you want to click on one of those options or writing another option in the comments, I will definitely look at that as far as how to kind of start the Q&A tomorrow when we go live on YouTube tomorrow. So we're going to go ahead and get started here in just a second. I'm going to share my screen and then we will get after it. Okay, so this is the part that I learned I have to go back and forth, otherwise the screen goes blank. So I learned that last time. So if you're not at like a powerhouse, but this is one of the questions I get very regularly about the recruiting process. I'm probably gonna oversimplify this tonight. So if you have any questions or if you want me to go into more detail or more specifics about some of the things that I'm talking about, please put those questions up in the chat and ask me to dive into those topics a little bit more. I've got some stories, some examples, and I don't want to be here. Not planning on this for being an hour long or anything like that, but just want to kind of talk about this a little bit because I do think it's important. Another thing, if you would, I would love to, those of you that are on, if in the comments, if you can tell me what grad year you are, and then maybe what club you guys play for. That would be awesome if you guys could put that up in the comments. Give me some context of kind of who all I'm chatting with. But I get this question quite a bit when it comes to recruiting. Oh, Jason, we don't play for this club. We don't play for that club. Like, are we going to get to play in college? Are we going to have options, right? And so I do think it's an important topic to at least discuss and give you kind of some of my thoughts and impressions of this recruiting kind of world and landscape that I've been in fairly deep over the last few years. So right off the bat, I would like to say that it is entirely possible to get recruited to play college volleyball, Division I, Division II, Division III. Regardless of what club you play at. That'll be it's completely doable. Okay. As I've said in some of my other videos, and I think I said this yesterday on the Q&A, college coaches are watching your film. They're evaluating you play live, and they're asking themselves one question: can you help me win? That is the question that college coaches are asking themselves when they watch you play live, when they watch your film. And the answer to that question is everything, right? So as you go through this recruiting process, that's something to keep in mind as well. They are not asking what club she plays for, right? Just like they're not necessarily always asking, hey, how come Susie doesn't have a social media account? Like, we're not going to recruit her unless she has a social media account, right? Like, it's as a college coach, you want the best athletes, period, regardless of what club they play for. So I kind of broke this into just two quick sections: what not to do, and then what to do. Okay. So the what not to do. The first thing is, if you are, and let's be honest, if you are not at a bigger club, a branded club, a name club, right? Like, just like in some ways, if you're not playing open, it's not necessarily a detriment, but it does change the perspective a little bit. Okay, so everything has variables. Playing open does not fix your recruiting. Going to a showcase does not fix your recruiting. Going to one camp does not fix your recruiting. Okay, so what I try to encourage parents and athletes with is, do not look for the golden ticket. Okay, do not look for this candy bar that I'm gonna buy is gonna have the golden ticket in it, and that's gonna get me to where I'm trying to go. Okay, that type of mentality, it hurts you almost all the time. Okay, I see this with parents that parents and athletes. They have a workaround for sending emails. They have a workaround for going to camp. Okay, they have a, like, well, if we can just get in prep dig and we get ranked, then we're going to get recruited, right? Like, all of these kind of quick fixes. I've written about this, talking about golden ticket, talking about 8-minute abs, like just that kind of mentality. Just this one little thing is going to be the it factor. And for the most part, it really has nothing to do with the recruiting process. Okay. So when you're playing from behind, and in this situation, in some ways, in some variables, like, we are playing from behind a little bit. Okay. It's important to not look for those quick fixes and golden tickets. That would be my encouragement. The other thing is going to be this mentality of, like, Division I or bust. I don't necessarily agree with that mentality. I know plenty of athletes who have done that. Some of them have been successful, others have not been. Okay, the D1 or bust mentality is in some ways similar to the kind of golden ticket mentality, right? Like, if I get the 2 or 3 schools that I want, then great. If not, I'm not playing college volleyball. I understand that perspective. I get it. Like I said, I've interacted with several athletes who have done that, but it is detrimental to your recruiting process, especially in this type of situation when you're playing from behind a little bit, because it gives you a really, really easy out. Okay. And so I don't encourage golden ticket mentality or ideas. I don't encourage kind of the Division I or bust mentality. If you are playing at a smaller club, small town, not a lot of powerhouse volleyball, okay, don't encourage that. The minimalist mentality, well, we're just going to do, like, a little bit here, a little bit there, and we'll see what happens. And if it works out, great. If not, great. Again, the shortcuts don't work. The giving yourself an out is, you're going to take it, right? You give yourself an out and you're going to take it. So if you're only doing a little bit of the tasks, like, it's just not going to have the impact that you want. And this goes for, like, platforms like social media, Instagram, things like that. If you're just hoping that I'm gonna post a little bit here, or I'm gonna get a volleyball Instagram only account, and that's gonna be the thing that gets me recruited, we can't put all our hope in those things. Okay, so that's kind of what not to do. What do you need to do? Again, in general, you are potentially not playing on a more competitive team. That's going to be less exposure, less kind of traffic. Okay, just in general, it's not a knock on anyone or any athlete. It's just kind of part of the process. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to do more than what everyone else is doing, and then times 2. Okay. So if you are not getting traction just generically or organically through kind of the recruiting process with college coaches coming to your court. I mean, we had an athlete get recruited this summer, like just because she came to the college coaches camp, right? I don't want to say that's the only reason. She's very talented and a good athlete. But it was at that camp that the coach got to interact with her, got to talk to her a little bit, got to coach her a little bit. And it's like, I just really like this kid and I want her to be a part of my program. Like that, you have to do those things. It wasn't necessarily like this mentality of, this is going for her, for the athlete, this is going to be kind of the way I get recruited. Like, no, it's on the list of things that you need to be doing. Okay. So you have to do those things, and then you have to do more, and then you have to times to it, right? You're not getting the traffic organically. You're not on the branded on the team. There's not automatically 100 college coaches watching your court, which if you listen to anything that I've said before, you know that even by itself isn't what gets you recruited, because probably 75% of those college coaches are watching one kid. Another good chunk of the college coaches on that court are just watching the good volleyball, right? So there's not even a whole lot of recruiting across both teams. They're watching one, maybe two kids. So to get the attention, to get the traffic, the exposure, like you just have to do more. You have to send more emails. You have to have more film. You have to put yourself in front of college coaches. Does that mean maybe a little bit of social media? Does that mean you go to some showcases that normally wouldn't go to? Does it mean you have to do a couple extra camps? Yeah. You have to do a little bit more. And this too, by the way, I would argue that there's a really good case for like second team kids and third team kids, even if you are at one of these big clubs, that you need to do a little bit more. You got to find ways to, like the second one says, you got to find ways to stand out. What makes you exceptional? What makes you different? What do you bring to the court that another athlete doesn't? Okay. And this is going to tie into your communication with college coaches, what you're putting in your emails, how much film are you sending, how are you communicating your interest, what you're doing on social media. You have to stand out in some ways. Otherwise, there's just, and I was talking to a family this morning about this, there's just too many athletes out there. College coaches will move on to the next athlete. Is that necessarily fair? No, but it's just the process, right? I didn't see it. Well, no, I take that back. As a college coach, I knew we were just moving on to the next kid. And you're not thinking about necessarily the impact that has on that athlete in that moment, because that's not necessarily your job as a college coach, unfortunately. And just like I hear things like college coaches will say, hey, if you don't find a place, let us know and we'll help however we can. It's a really nice gesture. It just really is. But how much are they actually going to do? Probably not very much. So again, going back to the golden ticket, don't think that one college coach who actually likes you, but you're not good enough to help their program, right? Answering that question, that one coach saying to you, hey, we'll help out if, however we can. You can't bank on that. You're just not going to. So you got to find ways to stand out with your court play, with your intensity, your intangibles, right? Like those things need to stand out. Okay. The other thing that you need to do if you are in this position, smaller town, smaller club, right? You need to be playing the long game. Okay. And that's not an ideal situation. Trust me. I would have loved for all of our 2027 athletes that we had prior to June 15th for them to be done on June 15th. I would have loved that. That would have been great. That's not always the case. The way this process goes right now is you have a really, really kind of peak of activity on June 15th and the days and weeks kind of to follow, maybe month or two to follow. And then everything flattens out or just drops off entirely until about now. We have to go through the portal, and then we have to get the club season to kick back up again in January and even into February, into Triple Crown for that to actually happen. And so if you are smaller club, smaller area, not getting, again, maybe some of the organic or natural exposure and engagement that some other athletes and clubs get to have, then you got to play the long game. You are going to be going through this process probably longer than other athletes, and that's okay. All of our athletes that go through this process, like it does, like it's hard. It is not easy. I had that conversation over and over again this fall about, yes, I understand this is frustrating. Yes, I understand it's hard. Do you still need to send emails? Do you still need to communicate with college coaches? Yes, 100%. Because there is another athlete after you stop communicating, after you give up, that is going to slide in there and take that spot. Okay, so you have to be thinking long game. You have to be thinking if you're a 2028 right now, and like, if you're kind of hoping that the Power 5 thing is going to work out, I love that. If the Power 5 thing doesn't work out, you need to know and understand that you are going to be going through this process until now, your junior year. Okay. So that would be kind of my encouragement. You need to plan out. This is going to be a long process. I'm going to have lots of phone calls. I'm going to have to send lots of emails between now and my, the end of my junior year, the spring of my 17s of my junior year. Okay. This is something I thought, I drove around in November, I think I went to go see 7 different signings on, whatever that signing day, Wednesday or Tuesday or whatever it was in November, the 14th or 15th, something like that. I went to 7 different signings. I was in my car from roughly, I was driving around, went to 7 different ones. I think I was going around to different high schools from like 8 in the morning until 4 or 5 at night, I think. Excuse me. And something kind of struck me as I was going to these different athletes signings, and I had a lot of time to think while I was in the car, but I was hit by this idea of every single one of these athletes that I'm going to, they're signing. They're a senior. They're signing with a school commitment letter, not NLI, but whatever they're signing now. Like, they're committed to a school. They're going, like, their senior year. Every single one that I that I went to, I'd worked with for probably several years, had known for several years at that point, some of them longer than others. But I just remember going, like, realizing every single one of them could have stopped at some point. Every single one of them could have given up when things got hard, when things were challenging, when they got told no several times from different schools, when visits didn't work out, when camps didn't work out. Like, every single one of them had an opportunity to just say, hey, you know what? It's probably not going to work out. And so we'll just go to school. Right. And that's fine. I have no issue with athletes that make that decision in the long run. But every single one of these athletes could have made that decision, and they chose not to. And that is really, like, when you have goals and you have things that you're trying to do, and you want to accomplish certain things, you just can't give up. You need to keep pushing. You need to keep pressing towards those goals. Okay. And so that would be my encouragement to you guys. Every single one of these athletes that you see pictured here, and there were some others that I went to, had the opportunity to give up and call it quits, and they didn't. And they are all going to play college this upcoming fall. Okay. So there is hope. If you're struggling, if you're upset, if you're frustrated with the process right now, trust me, I totally understand. There's some ways that we can help you with that process. We work one-on-one with athletes every single year and help them directly, individually with their recruiting process. If you're interested in doing something like that, please let me know. There should be a link in the description of this YouTube live that is going to give you access to our app. Download our new app. It's a kind of web-based online thing that you can create an app and put it on your home screen so that you have direct access to not only Michelle and myself with the app, but you also get access to all of our resources, all of our videos, our needs list, asking us questions, lots of different things that you guys get access to. And so this is a really simple way for you to get not only answers to all the questions that you need to get recruited, but to really have access to the resources and the people who can help you get to where you want to go, because that's what we do. I've been doing this for 8 years, 8 club seasons. This is kind of our second club season with Michelle on board, which has been great. And so that's what we do. We help athletes. We do it individually. We work with clubs. This is doing it through the app is kind of a new and different way we're trying to add to our repertoire, but we've got a lot of resources on there. And again, direct access to us and the ability to help you guys do that. So if you are interested in that, I would encourage you to go in the description, click on that link to the app. You can then add it to your home screen, and you'll have access to all the different information in there. So I see that a couple people have put stuff on the okay, people want to talk about scholarships tomorrow. Great. Thank you to the one person that voted for that. I really appreciate that. It's awesome. So we'll talk about some scholarship stuff tomorrow. We'll start the Q&A off with talking about scholarships a little bit, and then we'll kind of go from there. That'll be the plan. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. I hope this was helpful. Again, I know it's almost I feel like I'm just simplifying it. I'm just like I'm saying, like, do more work. And yes, in some ways you have to do more work when you're in this position, but I think you can be really targeted and specific with what you're doing. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of help and guidance to make sure you're not spinning your wheels. There's athletes every single year that I feel like are just spinning their wheels in the same place. They're kind of stuck in the mud because of what they're doing and kind of what their process looks like. So we definitely want to help athletes get unstuck and get to where they're going. So check out those links. They're on our stand store and in the description below. But thank you guys so much for hopping on tonight. Stay warm, stay safe, and I will see you guys tomorrow.